this hour.
Mm. Well, it's heartbreaking watching these kids file out of this school. And to circle back a little bit to Mr. Baker's comments about security, his analysis is 100% correct. And I know this is a multi-layered problem, but we can all certainly agree that we are sick and tired of hearing about these school shooting incidents. And the government certainly bears responsibility in creating gun-free zones through legislation. We can see with our eyes that gun control, that gun-free zones are not working. And we have to have some hard conversations and change the culture regarding security in our schools. Our schools should be hard targets, not easy targets. I do think it's very interesting from an investigative perspective that whoever this shooter was, took the time to strike during mass, where he knew all these kids were going to be in one place and vulnerable. So we cannot allow our children to be vulnerable. We need individuals that are trained and willing to defend our children in place in our schools to make sure things like this don't happen. And I know there are no easy, real easy answers to this problem. It's a larger societal problem, and it's too easy. It's too early, really, to speculate about what motives were with regard to this incident. But a lot of things can be done in terms of making our schools hard targets. There should be no more people just walking in unchallenged, especially when we have large groups of children in a small area like this. It simply creates a target-rich environment for the unhinged, for the mentally deranged, or for the criminally minded. So very tragic. I know the FBI is on scene.
Yeah.
And local law enforcement and the FBI do have good liaison relations. I saw some reporting just a little bit ago about Minneapolis PD being stretched so thin because there was such a violent night last night that they had trouble responding to this incident. So that goes back to the government's responsibilities and some of the structural problems that we see primarily in some of our in some of our Democrat-run cities.
I'm going to jump in real quick, John. I apologize. I want to update our viewers now who've been listening in. We have now NBC News speaking with several police, law enforcement, 3 officials now confirming that the school gunman died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. So that's both ABC News and NBC. NBC actually citing 3 law enforcement officials on that one. And then going back to what we can confirm, we now can confirm this through a Justice Department official telling Reuters now that 3 are dead in this Minneapolis shooting, including the shooter. So that still adds up with what we have. Again, 3 dead, including the shooter. That from the Justice Department, where ABC News reported 2 dead, more than a dozen taken to the hospital. So they've got it at 3 dead. That includes the shooter. Again, just heartbreak, because the question is, who are these victims? How old were these victims? And then the emotion of the family you can only just picture in your mind. And then how many are injured at this time? They say about 20. I say they, I mean the Justice Department officials that spoke with Reuters said about 20 are injured. So we have that. So 3 dead, including the gunman. 20 injured, maybe more, that according to the Justice Department official that spoke with Reuters. But I just go back to this moment of seeing these school children come out of this Annunciation Catholic Church and the variety of ages that we're seeing now, and just thinking about this moment of these parents are able to walk away with their children. And will this haunt them? Absolutely. And will this be a conversation? Absolutely. But they are able to walk away with their children. And the sad reality is there's going to be families that aren't going to be able to do so. We're expected to learn more around 11:30 from the police department, that conference, 11:30 Eastern time. So we'll watch for that. Our coverage continues after this quick